I want to bring another special guest to the ring. From Gimmick Tree Entertainment, he's helped us a lot with this show, Charlie Armstrong.
Thank you guys for coming out, and what a great building, man. And honestly, I do this every weekend, and man, there ain't no fans like Texas fans. You guys, I really appreciate the great hospitality, man. We got some great guests coming up here, and we're going to do something really special with the tradition of NWA and professional wrestling.
And ladies and gentlemen, you heard from him earlier, but let's bring him back to the ring, the president of the National Wrestling Alliance, Bruce Hart. Sacho!
Thank you so much again. What a pleasure it is to be here tonight. Thank you, everyone. We're here to present some very special awards tonight on the Hall of Fame. And at this time, I'll ask David Fuller to lead us.
All right, so we've got 3 awards we're going to induct tonight, and I'm going to kick it off because there's somebody back there that I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and I get the opportunity. At this time, I want to bring to the ring the world's greatest professional wrestling journalist, photographer, and the newest inductee into the IHWE Southern Wrestling Hall of Fame with a Lifetime Achievement Award, ladies and gentlemen, Bill Apter! Would you like to say a few words?
I'm never at a loss for words. Fort Worth, Texas, thank you so very much. From the minute Gimmick Tree Entertainment, Charlie Hartman walked with me into this building until now, I have been totally flattered by your outpour of love and support. Really. So I want to thank all of you. David, I want to thank you for this wonderful surprise. Mr. Beard, I've known you back since the Von Erich days. I am thrilled to be here in your presence. Bruce Hart, the president of the National Wrestling Alliance. I got to tell you something. All the years that I spent in all the territories under the NWA banner were the best days of my career. Thank you so very much. And finally, Charlie Hartman, who has become my personal agent for my book tour and just about anything else I've ever done, kept this from me. Thank you, you dirty rat liar. And I just want to tell all of you, I love you very much. And if you got my book, you should know the answer to this. Is wrestling fixed? I didn't know it was broken. Thank you very much, everybody. Wow.
All right, at this time, I'm going to turn it over to the Director of Operations for the rest of the ceremony. Give it up for James Beard.
Thank you. Thank you. First thing we're going to do, we've got another IHWA Southern Wrestling Hall of Fame award to give, but before we do that, we have a special NWA Hall of Fame award to give out. And yeah, please do. Yeah. Unfortunately, this person's not with us. but he was a very special guy in my career. Yeah, mentor and a special friend and someone I learned an awful lot from. And I'm going to have the NWA president, Bruce Clark, come and introduce the guy who's going to accept it for him. Thank you.
Thank you, James. That is correct. This award is being awarded posthumously to a gentleman who was very instrumental in the National Wrestling Alliance. He was a wrestling manager. He was an actual wrestler. And he was a booker, for those of you who know what that is. And at this time, I would like to introduce someone very, very special to make this award, to make this presentation. The individual that I'd like to introduce is also, in my opinion, an icon of the wrestling profession. He also was an amazing manager. He legitimately is a member of the Hall of Fame himself. I call him the wrestling genius. Let's welcome the genius, Jim Cornette.
I gotta say one thing, I couldn't compete with that jacket. How many boll weevils died to make that thing anyway? No, they told me, obviously I was lucky enough to be here a couple of years ago and I was inducted into the Southern Wrestling Hall of Fame, and I want to thank promoter David Fuller and his whole crew at the IHWE and all the fans that came to see that. But in this case, they told me they wanted to induct somebody that couldn't be here tonight. And we were not able to locate members of his family in time, so I've been asked to accept this award on behalf of one of my managerial colleagues. And I'll tell you, I know that I had a lot of fans here in Texas. I've seen that tonight, and thank you guys for coming out. But there's no manager in history that meant more to Texas wrestling, to Dallas wrestling, wrestling all over the world, but especially right here in Texas, as both a manager, a matchmaker, a developer of talent, than Gary Hart. There you go. Playboy Gary Hart was without doubt one of the greatest managers in the history of wrestling, and he had a hand in so many things, in so many great moments in wrestling. As a matter of fact, if you want to know who was the engineer and the manipulator behind the Freebirds and the Von Erichs feud, well, Gary Hart got it started. And for years, he was synonymous with Dallas wrestling. They practically built the sportatorium around Gary Hart. And I'll tell you a little secret, when I first became a manager, Jerry Jarrett came to me, he said, I want you to have the old Playboy Gary Hart gimmick. Because Gary Hart, when he got into wrestling, actually in Chicago in the old days on the South Side, before Gary started wrestling, he worked for the guys with the broken noses. He was a collector, let's say. He made sure that debts were paid on the South Side of Chicago. But when he got into wrestling, the story was that he had a very wealthy mother and a wealthy family, and they financed his way. He was Playboy Gary Hart. And I told Jerry Jarrett, I said, I can handle the rich mother and the clueless little teenage putz part. I don't think I can pull the Playboy thing off. He said, that's all right. But Gary Hart, when I got a chance to work with him here in Dallas, also in the NWA for Jim Crockett Promotions and WCW, he was a great motivator, and he always had some advice, even if that advice was, brother, if somebody crosses you, you follow them in the bathroom, you grab them by the back of the head, you smash their head into the toilet about 5 or 6 times, they won't fuck with you again, brother. But Gary did things his own way. He was a tremendous talent. He was a tremendous matchmaker. He had a hand in starting a lot of careers of some of the wrestlers that you guys love and respect. And before I make this too long-winded, I'd like to say thank you to the IHWE on behalf of the late Gary Hart and his family. I proudly accept this plaque and this honor, inducting Gary Hart into the National Wrestling Alliance Hall of Fame 2016. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, James E. Cornett.
Okay, we've got one more, and this one's kind of special for me. Hard to believe it's been almost 30 years ago. I got a call from my friend Larry Dwyer, who's out here somewhere. I don't know where he is. There he is, over there. He had gotten a call from our mutual friend, Red Bastine, Red said, "I've got a guy coming to Texas, moving down there, and he needs some work. Can you guys help him out?" So Larry and I took him to Killer Tim Brooks, who was running a promotion, and we actually got in the ring and worked out with him just so Tim could see what he could do, and he hired him right there on the spot. Well, it didn't take too long for World Class to want to get a hold of this guy, and we were managed to get him involved with World Class, and from that point he was Stone Cold Steve Austin's first tag team partner. He was a tag team partner with, in fact, right after that he was a tag team partner with John Tatum, who Gary Hart managed, both of those guys. And from that point, he became a singles wrestler for the most part, and he pretty much dominated this area for a lot of years. Not only with World Class, USWK came in, and then with Global, he won every kind of title you could think of. And he's worked for ECW, USWA, other organizations. But in my book, a lot of people ask me, you know, who's the guy that everybody should know that maybe everybody doesn't know? And this is the guy. He's one of the best I've ever been in the ring with, bar none. And I've been in the ring with just about all of them. It's my honor to hand this Southern HWE Southern Wrestling Hall of Fame award to my good friend and really my little brother, Rugged Rod Price.
Thank you. James, you stole pretty much all I was going to say. You know, I was going to drag Larry down here and make him get in the ring. There he is. The only thing on my heart, I'm thankful. I'm thankful to the Lord, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for giving me the talent to be able to get to this ring. I'm thankful for the men that came before me and laid their bodies out all over the globe, all over the United States, all over Texas, that made wrestling what it is. And I'm thankful for the men that are in this ring tonight, entertaining you folks, giving up their bodies, tearing themselves up, that you're going to pay for later, trust me. And I just want to thank the fans, because they gave it night after night. And I just want to thank you all.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the newest inductees into the IHWE Southern Wrestling Hall of Fame, Rugged Rod Price and Bill Apter. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take about 10 minutes to regroup. All you guys can get up, go to the bathroom, meet Jim Cornette if he's out there, meet some of your favorite stars and legends, and get right back here, because when we come